Here we are again in the land of smiles. No, I'm just kidding. You know what the land of smiles is in real life? It is Thailand. But you know, Thailand's a fun place. It's a good place, but you got to be careful there because you can get your ass beat if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. So Thailand's fun. I recommend traveling. Yo, Nick, I'm so glad you made it, dude. So glad you made it. Good to see you in here, man. How's it going? So, yeah, I just said welcome to the land of smiles and was clarifying this is not the land of smiles. In fact, Thailand is the land of smiles. And this is not Thailand. This is H-Town, baby. H-Town. So, has everybody heard about the Trump meme that went around the internet today, man? Everybody is, or at least the media seems to be losing their minds. Oh, Nick. Okay. Man, if you haven't seen it, you need to find it on Twitter. If after this, if I remember, I will send it to you. I'll tag you in it. So, did you ever? I don't know if you guys have seen the movie called Kingsman. Yeah, Kingsman. It's about a like Secret Service, British Secret Service, and it's kind of follows this young male character who is like going into the service, and it's like to protect the queen, but they do all kinds of crazy shit. It's modern day, and the way they film it is really cool. Like, so the fight scenes are not like your typical fight scenes nowadays where it's like a blurry dark room, you don't see shit. They get like they have the camera moving in weird directions following the fight, so you see the fight from really cool angles. It's a fun movie to watch. That's the best way to put it. It's a fun, overall fun action movie. So there's a scene in the movie, spoiler alert, but it's an old movie. It's from like 5 years ago. There's a scene in the movie where the one of the guys of the Secret Service is, I think he's in a small town in America, and he's in a church, and I don't remember what he's doing there, but it's this little fucking church in the middle of nowhere, and it's filled with people. However, all these people have chips in their heads, and they don't know it. And somebody, it's part of the plot of the story, all these chips being implanted in people's heads. So somebody hits the chip to make them go crazy while the Secret Service guy's in the church. So all the churchgoers start attacking the Secret Service guy. So the whole scene is this guy, Secret Service dude, killing all of these churchgoers. And it's actually a really good scene. Like, they look like zombies. They look like zombies, and they're just like going after this dude, and he's just taking them all out. He's, doing all kinds of fancy martial arts moves. He's shooting them to death, shooting them in the head, all this stuff. It's pretty violent, but it's a really well shot scene. So somebody memed it, and they put Trump's head on the Secret Service guy, and all of the churchgoers that are attacking Trump are different members of the media. So like he's killing CNN, and he's killing Politico, and he's killing, yeah, hey man, Joshua Money, welcome to the chat, bro. Yeah, I'm with you for 4 more years as well. I'm voting for, I don't see myself voting for anybody else, but I was explaining the meme that came out today. So yeah, the Trump is basically, Trump keeps CNN alive, bro. He gets them ratings. Yeah, I totally agree. Did you see the meme? I was just describing how like the meme, he's killing all of the mainstream media. He's like shooting CNN, he's shooting MSNBC, ABC. He like takes out members of Congress that are pieces of shit. And it's just funny. Oh yeah, dude, the media went into a meltdown over this thing. Yeah. No, for sure. Joshua, you came to the right stream, brother. You came to the right stream. You're not going to get, well, it depends. If you're looking for a fight, you're not going to get a fight out of me. Yeah, I thought it was a hilarious meme. and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Uh, you know, first off, Trump didn't make it himself. So the fact that everyone blows up over it, it's like that's one thing. Like he didn't fucking put the meme together. He's not out there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill fucking mainstream media people." And then secondly, it's hilarious. It's clearly a metaphor for him taking out. Yeah, he had nothing to do with it. Joshua Money, you are correct. Trump had nothing to do with the meme, and it was clearly a metaphor. I mean, come on, like he's shooting CNN, he's shooting fucking Politico, he's shooting all of these things. It was funny as shit, and especially if you've seen the movie, like it's just whoever puts those memes together, it was really well done. Yes, I agree. More phone outrage, man. And it's so funny. Like I've never thought of myself as like I voted for Trump in 16, but I'm not like one of those that's like MAGA MAGA MAGA. But I'll tell you what, whenever the more shit like this that comes out and people lose their minds, the more I do support. It's not necessarily the more I support him because of it, but it's like the more I'm like, okay, I'm definitely, who else am I going to vote for? Who else am I going to vote for? The other side is just so fucking insane. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I was in Taiwan, I was talking to a friend of mine, well, somebody I had just met, but he had been out of the States for a while as an expat. And but he was a cool guy. And I was explaining to him in the States, because he was like a little disconnected from what was going on here in the States, because he had been in Singapore for like 6 or 7 years. And he knows that like the racism shit is getting out of hand because he's encountered some of that. It spreads worldwide. You'd be surprised. But so he's encountered a little bit of that weird shit. But I was explaining to him, I was like, dude, I said, don't get me wrong. The right, there's no totally innocent party, right? There's none. But the left is driving all the insanity. Did I see the CNN? So Joshua Money saying, did I see the CNN town hall about equality? Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Okay. So first off, I'm not that far out of my mind to watch the whole thing. I let other people do that for me. So I follow some people on Twitter that are more insane, that are willing to follow that kind of shit. I could not stomach that. But I did see clips from it, which were fucking insane. Yes, dude, you got it, man. Joshua Money, man, you're on the money, dude. This is why you have money in your name. You're on the money. They are insane. This is what you are voting to avoid with Trump. Yeah, for sure. The thing is yeah. First off, I do genuinely support some of his policies. And then beyond that, it's like, dude, do you want insane pieces of shit running the country? Now, I get it. The president only does so much, but Jesus, man, just the rhetoric that comes out of these people's mouths is insane. Like at that CNN town hall, that was amazing. I don't know if you saw the clip about Nick. Did you see that? Did you see the CNN town hall, man? Where they were like, they had a 9-year-old transgender boy. I don't know who it was. That was the left summed up. Yeah, Joshua, that is correct. That town hall was today's Democratic Party. It is the radical left of today that has taken control of the party and totally run it down a shithole. It was already pretty much a shithole, but did I see Kamala Harris announcing her pronouns? Yes, I did. Okay, so Kamala Harris announced her pronouns. I think, who was it? Okay, so I didn't see the Cooper one. I saw the one where Kamala Harris came out on stage and she goes, "And my pronouns are she and her," and then Cuomo said, "Mine too," and he was joking. And then the next day he apologized for it like a bitch, dude, like the bitch that he truly is. Which is funny because, yeah, exactly. Yes, dude, that's it. It's virtue signaling has run amok. And yeah, it's a lot to get into. The virtue signaling. It's cheap signaling, is what it is. It's super cheap signaling. There's no, dude, I don't even know. We've gone so far. Trust me, homie, they get eaten up by their own wokeness. Yeah, I know. We see it all the time. The thing is, though, so first off, that Kamala Harris thing was hilarious. She comes out, says her pronouns were she and her. It's so funny. If somebody watches this, they're going to like lose their mind. Like, oh, why is that so funny? But it's funny. And then Cuomo comes out and makes a joke, which shows me that Cuomo inside his head knows how insane this shit is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he clearly made a joke on stage. When she comes out and she goes, "My pronouns are she and her," and he goes, "Mine too," and she goes, okay. And I saw that and I'm like, dude, Cuomo actually had a sense of humor there. So all the shit he's saying on CNN, like, I'm not saying he doesn't believe it, but a part of him probably doesn't believe the shit that's coming out of his own fucking mouth. And I think that's a lot of it. Yeah. So Joshua says, yes, dude, Cuomo knows, but he goes along for fear of what happened the day after. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of this woke leftism, man, a lot of it's like that. You've got all these people are scared. Everyone is scared to fucking say their shit that's on their mind. That's actually part of the reason why I'm doing this and doing some of my media shit nowadays is because it's like, you just gotta do it. You just gotta say the shit. Yeah, man, cancel culture. And you know what's interesting is people. So, you know what? People keep on making points. They go, listen, dude, this is the minority. The minority is the ones that are talking about all this shit. And that's true. But the minority can change the whole debate. So there's a great author, Nassim Taleb. He wrote a book called Skin in the Game. I'm listening to it now. It's fucking off the chain. Anyway, he talks about something called the minority rule, how a small minority of people in a society, depending on how they're distributed, if they do not change their ethics, if they do not change their stance, and they're distributed across the population in a particular way, they can move the whole population in a certain direction if the rest of the population is flexible. And that's what we're seeing today. So the minority rule, you can see it in certain customs, like in that's so true. They want everyone to change. Yes. And it's working, right? Like, dude, yes, the gender neutral bathrooms. Not only that, man, like, in schools. Okay, so in Canada, they're teaching all of this transgender stuff to the kids in schools. Like, listen, I don't have a problem teaching that some kids don't know if they're a boy or a girl, but to go to the next step, first off, I don't think schools really need to even go to that step. But secondly, if they do, they don't need to go to the next step, which is everybody needs to question their gender. Like most people, 99% of people know what the fuck they are, and so they just create this confusion. And you know what else is strange is the whole idea of violence. So this is, in my opinion, is so poisonous. People think you're actually perpetrating violence on them if you disagree with them. Like if if somebody says something about someone's pronouns, like, luckily I don't run into that here, but you hear stories about it all the time about people having issues with pronouns. Yeah, they encourage to question their gender at a young age through their liberal schools and their parents. Yeah. Well, I don't even think the parents are all aware. So that's kind of what's so corrupt about this whole system, is that it's seeped into the culture through mass media and through the schools. And I don't really know if I don't think all the parents are on board. I think a lot of people are kind of like, here, dude, here's the problem, dude. We're the flexible majority. So Joshua says censorship is something we must never stop fighting. I totally agree. Here's the thing. In order for us to fight censorship, we have to be the intransigent minority. We have to be the minority that says, no more. We're not going to fucking, well, right. I think we're the majority, but not the majority's not going to speak out. That's the problem. There's only going to be some people who are going to be willing to stand up to the crazy bullshit that's going on. So there has to be a certain amount of people, for example, like a Dave Chappelle or like a Bill Burr, right? Like Dave Chappelle is a great example of a minority of people who says, listen, I'm not moving. I'm not moving off of my stance. I am going to say fucked up shit and it's going to offend people. And he does. And dude, there's so much popularity behind him. And there's a lot of popularity behind people like Bill Burr too. Remember the actor? So Joshua says, remember the actor who went on Candace Owens' show, Mario Lopez? And then he apologized the day after. They feared the backlash. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, dude. See, that's the other thing. Man, I'll tell you what. First off, Skin in the Game by Nassim Taleb. It's great. He covers a lot of this stuff. It's just an interesting perspective. But yes, dude, part of the issue that I think that a lot of us have is, yeah, they fear the backlash. And it's because they're not free, man. Everyone is afraid of what they're going to lose, right? We're all afraid of what we're going to lose. So in order for us to stand up against the crazy shit that's going on, we just have to look at what we've got and see like how much of it we're willing to lose, right? Like, I've started doing these live streams and putting other stuff out on the internet, and you know, to be honest, it could definitely fuck with my reputation, but I don't know. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. But I still fear a little bit about like what I have to lose. But I'm trying to reconcile like what do I really have to lose? I have black friends. Okay, so Joshua says, I have black friends whose family disowned them for supporting Trump. It's not easy. Right. Dude, not only that, in Silicon Valley, there are blacklists, right? There are people legitimately are put on blacklists if they find out that they voted for Trump. They are put on Excel spreadsheets that are spread across the company, and they're sent to other tech companies so they can't be hired again. And it's not just if they voted for Trump, if they have like any kind of pro-conservative view. Yeah, Julian Castro, was he the guy? Is he from San Antonio? Was he the guy that disclosed a list of donors that donated money to Trump? Such a shame to be a fucking Texan, dude. I'm a Texan myself, and that guy's a piece of shit. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Oh, God, that's horrible. So despicable, man. Yeah. It's too much. Yeah, he's a Democratic presidential candidate. Yeah. It's so funny. You see how much attention I pay to it, right? Like, I read the headlines and shit. I hear what's going on. But it's too... I don't like to get into the nitty-gritty of everything, but I kind of have an understanding of what's going on. Joshua says, the funny thing is these people call Trump the fascist. Dude, I know. No, dude, we're living in a strange reality. So I've never seen it like this ever. Now, I'm not that old. I'm only 27. But when I was in high school, I was on the speech and debate team and a little bit in college. So I was always very like much in the kind of circle of people who argued and debated about politics. But I've never seen it to where one side has fundamentally totally disconnected. They're not even like, so if you tell people that you believe that immigration is an issue, they don't even say, okay, the proper response to that is, okay, what issue do you have? Let's discuss the issue that you have. They don't even say that. They go, oh, you're racist. That's it. You hate all people that are brown. And so if I say, oh, now reasonable people don't have this problem, but there's a whole group of people that if you go, oh, I voted for Trump, they go, oh, that's because you must be a racist. You must be a racist. They don't say like, oh, why would you vote for Trump? There's an automatic disconnect that you're a racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. We all know that. Dude, I was telling somebody, I came back from a trip not too long ago. I was telling this chick from Malaysia. I told her about in America, we have this thing like you're a sexist, bigot, homophobe, racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. Like that's what those are like the big four that they nail you with. If you say you voted for Trump or if you say anything conservative or just non-leftist, dude. If you're just not a radical fucking Marxist, then, you know, if you're just not pro everything on the left, yeah. Joshua says, Orange Man bad. Oh my gosh. It's so insane. It's so insane. So yeah, but what worries me, yeah, they seem to hate white men but are anti-racist. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, it's and that's what I'm saying is they're cutting off dialogue because even having a dialogue is racist. Like, so for example, I am a white guy and I voted for Trump and I might have like some pro-immigration, you know, some immigration stance that is not like let everybody come in. I don't want everyone to just fucking walk all over the border. So instead of talking to somebody like me, they tell other people that, no, I'm a Nazi, right? Luckily, I'm in Texas, and that's really not a problem. I don't run into a lot of issues. But, you know, I mean, we see what happens at Trump rallies, dude. People go to a Trump rally, and there's people outside waiting to fight them. And it's because we've lost – there's this cut where they say, no, anyone at a Trump rally wants a genocide. Dude, so I did a podcast earlier today and I talked a little bit about the meme, and afterwards I posted it on Twitter and I was putting a hashtag Trump. And when I put the hashtag Trump, the first thing that showed up was Trump genocide. And I'm like, what fucking genocide are people? What the fuck is this shit, dude? People are so out of their minds. They don't even, there's no connection to reality. There's no fucking genocide perpetuated by the Trump administration. This is insane. The last, Joshua says the last Trump rally, what was it? Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome is so real. TDS is so real. Yeah. I saw some videos of that, of Trump supporters being attacked at rallies, but that's a normal thing though. The thing is the media just will not pick it up. And it's just fucked. What also is fucked is all of these hoaxes that go on. Dude, I don't know if you follow Mike Cernovich. He's got some interesting content, and he came out with a documentary called Hoaxed, and it's really good. It goes through how some of the media hoaxes, the real prominent media hoaxes that came out over after Trump was elected, were just all bullshit about how all of the fake hate crimes, like swastikas being painted in places and people's braids being torn out of their hair because they're black by Trump supporters, and burqas being torn off people's heads. Like most of those claims, if not all of the high level claims, like look at Jesse Smollett, dude. Look at that motherfucker. Like just made up a claim that he was attacked by white Trump supporters. Like all of these claims are bullshit. And the thing is though, is they throw them out into the ether and everyone hears it. And so even once it's proven false, it's in everyone's mind. And that is what is so insidious about this shit. That's why it's so evil and unethical, because these guys know what they're doing. They know that if they get it out there, then even if they have to retract it later, it's too late, because most of the people that hear it, they're not going to fucking go back and look and research it for themselves. They're just going to say Trump is racist. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. What'd you say here, Joshua? You said CNN never mentioned Jussie Smollett. Did you see the one straight after the go back situation? The lady failed her hoax big time. The go back situation, which, oh yes, are you talking about the lady that was she's a I think she's a congressperson, or she is some kind of government worker, either elected locally or at a national level, and she was at a grocery store, right? And she said that some white dude told her to go back where she came from, and it wasn't a white dude, it was a Hispanic dude. And I think there was videotape or something that showed that, like, it did not happen how she said it happened at all. And she was like crying and saying that some guy told her to go back where she came from, and he was a Hispanic dude. And he's like, what the fuck? He was actually a liberal. Yes, Joshua says she thought she could fake a Trump supporter being racist because, he was a Democrat. He was a Hispanic American. I think he was of Cuban descent. And he was like, look, he was basically like, look, the lady was doing some stupid shit in the grocery line, and I called her out on it, and that was it. You know? And even then, he was kind of a puss himself about the whole situation, but it was another fabricated event. And dude, you know what's weird is what kind of psychology drives a person to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never, I mean, I say I would never. I tell you what, to this day, I have never, ever gone about my day and been like, how can I frame this to make it look like another minority group offended me so I can post it online? Like, it's never crossed my fucking mind. Now, I get it. I can't generalize my thoughts to the rest of the population, but like, I feel like you have to be sick. You know, like, there's got to be something wrong with you if your thought process is that. Joshua says they want to keep racism alive to keep division and gain votes. Dude, I'll tell you what, that is so fucking spot on, man. It's so sick. How about Columbus Day, bro? What do you think about this shit? Everyone virtue signals. It's not so bad this year. I feel like 1 or 2 years ago it was worse. But a couple years ago, Columbus Day, I think 2017 was the worst I saw it. People were like, you know, talking all this shit about racism all the time. I just brought that up because today, I think, today's Columbus Day. And people miss the point why it's celebrated. People don't celebrate Columbus Day because of the slaves he took back to Europe, which I don't even think he took that many. Dude, so Joshua says, dude, I saw the weirdest shit ever. Don't know if you saw it. I don't know. You have to go in some detail, man. I'll tell you what, man. I've seen some weird shit. I'll tell you what, dude. I've been into some weird situations, Joshua, my man. I've been in some arguments with some people where I'm just like, we are coming from different universes. And then what happened after those arguments was fucking even more interesting. But won't go into that. But with this Columbus Day shit, everyone virtue signals about everything's about racism nowadays. You know, and it's like you said, racism is a business. And, you know, of course, everybody acknowledges that there are racist people in the world. But for the most part, dude, people are just trying to get along their fucking daily lives. So Joshua says, Marianne Williams says, was leading a prayer of young white people saying they're sorry to black people for slavery. None of these people. Yeah. Yes, I did hear about that. I saw some video clips. Yeah, Marianne Williamson, she's kind of funny, man. I think she's funny because I don't think she poses a threat, so I kind of laugh it off. Yeah, the whole reparations talk needs to pretty much stop because nobody dude, there's a lot of problems with the white thing. So the same problems we have with labeling people black, we have with labeling people white. So first off, the a number of people who owned slaves in the United States was a minority of wealthy business owners. Now, I'm not saying anything about business owners, but they were wealthy plantation owners. The average poor white folk running around colonial America was not a slave owner. What the fuck? So first off, that is absurd. Most white people that even owned slaves, it was a minority of those. Even now, secondly, yeah, some black people even own slaves. So Joshua says some black people even own slaves, but very few. Yes, for sure. Now, here's the other thing about that. What is white, dude? What is white, Joshua? What the fuck does that even mean, man? So how can somebody like we've experienced lots of immigration to the United States. So even during and after the Civil War, think about this, dude. How many people from Europe came here after the Civil War? Think about all the Italians, the Spanish, people from all over Western Europe, Eastern Europe, even the people like anyone who looks white who came here after the Civil War, which is probably most of the people that have come after the Civil War, have had like literally zero. First off, I don't think most people in the United States have zero to do with slavery. But think about all the generations and all the millions of people who have come to the United States since the Civil War that had like not even, you couldn't even try to trace their lineage back to slave owning because they had nothing to do with it. Those same people that their Italian grandparents came here in 1900, those same people are being told that they are the fucking problem. And it's like, what? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? They had nothing to do with this. Like so it's just the whole idea of reparations is it can't be done. It's insane, you know? And even then, dude, you can't, like, I get it. It's fucked up. Slavery was fucked up. But yeah, well, you're going to punish generations upon generations for something that somebody's grandparents did? Dude, I'll tell you what. I even, you know, I don't even think that modern Germans, I don't know if the Germans are paying reparations for what happened during World War II, but you know what my opinion is? I don't think any fucking German who was born after World War II should have to pay reparations for what their fucking grandparents did. Like, yeah, what their grandparents did was fucked up, but they had nothing to do with it. And I would say the same thing about slavery. And I'm fucking Jewish, dude. Joshua says they're being lied to and taught misinformation. You have a poor white man paying reparations to a rich black businessman. Yeah. Yeah, you know, a lot of this is about misinformation. And that's the game we're playing, dude. You know what's funny? I don't watch Alex Jones InfoWars, but InfoWars is the correct name. I'll tell you what, InfoWars is the correct name. That is what it's in the United States right now. That's what this is all about. We're in an information warfare. In my opinion, anyone who gets their news from the mainstream media, I don't care if you get it from, dude, I had a conversation. I'm jumping all over the place, but Joshua, you're the fucking man, dude. You're bringing out some energy today. I was tired as shit. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he started spouting off every left of center talking point, every single left of center talking point. It was about climate change, immigration, Trump scandals, Trump tax shit, everything. Straight, like right down the list. And I'm like, I was curious. I'm like, hey, dude, so where do you get your information? Because it was clear to me, like, these are straight. There was no nuance to the thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people get their talking points, there's no nuance. There's no oh, well, maybe there's something wrong here or there's something right here. It's just like, this is what I say, this is what I think. And so he just kind of went down this list. And I have a lot of respect for the guy, but not in this arena. Now, and I'm like, where did you get your news from? And he gets it from Reddit, but what he gets from Reddit is he reads different articles. So he'll read like from different news sources. And I said, well, that's your problem. I'm like, if you're reading articles from CNN and CS and CNBC and MSNBC, like, that's your problem. Like today's information warfare is not about Fox versus CNN. It's not about MSNBC versus whatever the fuck. It's about figuring out how much they're lying. It's about looking at the headline, reading the article, and saying, oh, wow, 95% of this article is made up. Like, it doesn't even matter if it comes from Fox. Like, it doesn't matter if it comes from CNN. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm more partial to Fox. But you know, I don't read anything from Fox because I think that they're too much of, I think it's too editorialized. You know, unless they have boots on the ground reporting on shit, I don't care to read somebody's editorial. I'll look on Twitter and see what's going on. Right. And so that's it on Twitter. Fox is biased, I admit, but not as bad as CNN. I agree. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're not in a world anymore. This is my opinion. We're not in a world of CNN versus Fox, even though I think CNN is the worst. I think they are the absolute worst. I don't even think it's that. I think it is about no matter what you read, you have to figure out what is bullshit and what is not bullshit. Like, even if it's no matter who it's from. On the left, I think it's the worst because the agenda is so rampant. It's just disgusting. On the right, you know, like I said, I don't even read Fox News, so I don't even know. And honestly, like, their shit doesn't make a lot of the rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the shit that gets thrown around the media is all the lies that you see from CNN. Like, they blast something out and it goes viral, and then half of the U.S. is like, oh my gosh, Trump did this. And then the other half of the U.S. is like, dude, they just retracted the statement. Some people believe what they want to believe as well, Joshua says. Yeah. No, Joshua. I think almost everyone believes what they want to believe. I think the majority. Listen, man, like, I'm fairly MAGA at this point. Like, I'm not super MAGA. I'm gonna vote for Trump this term. Like, I don't see anyone else I could possibly vote for. But even there's people on the right that still, you know, they don't think, they just take talking points. They just happen to be on the right side of the talking points. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's not a whole lot of critical thinking going on in a lot of places. I think people I think non-leftists are doing the most, though. So that's my opinion. But man, this has been some good shit today. Anything else you want to say, Joshua? Because I think I'm getting ready to hone it in for today. If you haven't subscribed, you should, man. I try to get these out around 3:30 or so on a regular basis. So if you're interested, man, which I think you are, you should. And Nick, anything you want to say, man? Anything you want to add to this live stream? Yeah, what's up, man? One more thing. Go ahead and shoot, baby. Do you think he will be impeached? Oh, no, I don't think so. So here's the thing. Admittedly, I don't know everything that the Democrats are doing. All I can tell you is this. Everything they've done so far has failed. And it's failed because there's nothing legitimate behind what they're doing. And I have to believe that this is the same thing. I don't see any legitimate reason for him to be impeached. And I think this is just another attempt at them to do what they do. So even without being fully informed on the charges they're bringing against him, just on what they do, I'd say, I mean, I don't see any grounds for him to be impeached. I think they're full of shit. Collusion. No way to strike. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's insane. Yeah, the Ukraine stuff was nothing. It's all nothing, dude. It's all nothing. So that's what we're coming to find, is that it's all nothing. And hopefully we'll see him get elected again. It's my aunt's dog in the back. All right, guys. Thanks for fucking joining in, man. It was fun as shit. Good live stream today, man. Thanks for joining in, Josh. Thanks for joining in, Nick, and whoever else is hanging out there. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my podcast. It's in my Twitter bio, my website as well. So, and I'm always looking for feedback, guys. So let me know what you think, what you want me to talk or write about. So I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably be on tomorrow. I try to do 5 days a week. Sometimes my Fridays are tough, but I try to do 5 days a week around 3, usually between 3 or 4 is when I get going. So I'd love to see you in here again, man. And on that note, I'm a peace out. Thank you.